Imagine waking up every morning with a sinking feeling in your gut and a dread that makes you want to skip school, not because of assignments, tests, or even incomplete homework, but because of whispers, laughs, and sometimes even complete silence. For many students, this isn't just a scenario, it's a cruel reality. Bullying, social exclusion, and groupism often intertwine to create a toxic environment that amplifies harm. Groupism isolates and targets individuals who don't fit in. Social exclusion, a subtle form of bullying, leaves victims feeling invisible and powerless. This can sometimes escalate as group dynamics tend to promote and sometimes normalize this behavior to maintain status or cohesion within the group. All of these factors together create a cycle of isolation, humiliation, and deep emotional pain that deeply affects the victim's mental health, sense of belonging, and self-esteem. Good morning. My name is Aishani Gupta, and I study in the ninth grade. For me, bullying has been a reality since quite a young age. To me, it's rather normal. It has left emotional scars and has made it difficult for me to believe in myself. Over the years, I have faced bullying time and time again, whether it be in the fourth grade, because the majority could, or in the eighth grade, because I wasn't the popular one. The story that I'm about to tell you is something that happened quite recently. It's a rather personal story, and it has taken me a while to get comfortable saying out loud. The feeling of exclusion was palpable, and I started avoiding conversations and situations with classmates I had known for over a decade. A girl from my class said, "Groupism is normal, it'll happen." But that raises a moral question. Does that mean it should? The more I tried to fit in, the more I lost myself. I heard someone from my class say I heard them ask each other, simply as a taunt to my friend group, if they genuinely enjoyed our company. The answer was no. What made it worse was that I used to know these people. Had it really been so long since I was friends with them? What had caused the drifting apart? Was it something I did? Something I should have done? Was it a character flaw? I questioned my self-worth and entered a downward spiral of negative thoughts. Bullying has a huge impact. 1 in 5 students face bullying, doubling their risk of mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Studies show that 50 to 60% of students face bullying, yet 56.8% of them fail to notify authority figures. Does this story resonate with you? Did an experience like this shape your personality? Does it remind you of who you used to be, or maybe of who you still are? Bullying has a huge psychological toll as well. While it comes in various types such as mental, physical, and cyber, the scars of emotional and verbal bullying last much longer than those of physical bullying. Students learn to internalize negative thoughts through bullying. They enter a downward spiral of negative thoughts and they can't embrace themselves. They tend to believe that it is their fault for being targeted. They lose their unique qualities. Social exclusion is a subtle yet powerful weapon. It's the quiet rejection at lunch that stings the most. The seen messages, the friend group that somehow always manages to forget to include you, the pain of walking just one step behind everyone else. It makes you feel as if your presence or absence doesn't matter, but it does. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." But isn't that exactly what bullying does? It erodes your self-belief and makes you question yourself at every single step. The aftermath lingers long after the words are spoken, ringing in your ears, destroying your focus and invading your thoughts daily. Groupism is what compounds bullying. It is the practice of favoring or prioritizing the interests of one's own group, often at the expense of fairness or inclusivity towards others. It leads to the formation of social hierarchies. It marginalizes those who don't fit in and pressurizes students to conform to social norms. The excluded face the pain of being excluded. It leads to the formation of cliques and close-knit groups, and people outside that group are targeted. This exclusion could be due to being different, looking different, or simply because the majority has the power. And what's worse is that the bullied and the excluded don't speak up out of fear of their pain being declared invalid and their story not being heard. They continue to suffer in silence. But this silence is dangerous. It allows bullying and exclusion to thrive. It further reinforces the message that their pain isn't seen. For the bully, it is a green signal to continue with their behavior. Bullying is something that affects the entire community. Bystanders often don't speak up when they see someone being bullied, either out of fear for becoming a target themselves or simply because they don't know how to help. They later feel the guilt of not intervening. All of this creates a toxic school environment. It leads to a paralyzing fear of social situations. Fear stifles creativity. School, instead of being a platform for forming genuine and meaningful connections, is just another something that causes students stress. There are various ways of breaking this cycle. The first part of it is to speak up. If you see someone being bullied, mistreated, or being left out, say something. Simple words like, "Are you okay?" or "Do you want to sit with us?" can make a huge difference. Second, educate yourself and others. Schools should not just punish bullies, they should teach empathy. Realizing how your words affect others reduces harm. Third, creating safe spaces. The victims don't speak up out of fear. Creating safe spaces with supportive teachers, counselors, and peers can help them feel more supported. And lastly, promoting collaborative activities. Collaborative activities help students understand each other and it creates for a more inclusive environment. To conclude, I would like to say that bullying isn't just something to go through or get over. It is a serious public health issue that requires empathy, attention, and action. We need to change the culture that allows bullying and exclusion to thrive. Choose empathy over indifference, inclusion over exclusion. To anyone struggling, remember, you matter. Your story is important and deserves to be heard. Let this talk be more than just words. Let it inspire action.